Hi and welcome to Student Record Data Entry System with a search function. Now I'm going to show you guys how this works. Supposing we want to enter new data, we can always reset and enter new student data there. And if you notice, as soon as you enter the student ID, it's automatically converted to a barcode here that is stored. And then we can then enter the student name. Let's say the student name is Davis Johnson, and there, so we need to enter the mode of studies. Let's assume he's a full-time student, and that is what he has to pay there. Now those are the details of Davis Johnson, and if you guys look straight into this list box there, you will notice the details of David Johnson is not on the system. I'm now going to add the details of David Johnson. Click on add and let's scroll right down, and there we go. That's the details of David Johnson right there. The other thing that we can do with this system is we can decide to search for a candidate. Let's assume we want to search for the following student. Search, and that's a Captain Allen, and he happens to be taking a part-time course with us. And if you come right down here, you will notice there's two records of Captain Allen right there, and we can always make use of our delete button. Delete, and let's scroll right down. The details of Captain Allen here, and that is it right there. And the other thing you can do is we can use our spin navigator. Look at that. Okay, and we can, there we go, and there, that is Dynamic Hunter. Let's see with the spin navigator. Now let's update the details of Dynamic Hunter. Supposing the student ID is incorrect. Okay, that is Dynamic Hunter in there, so let's just enter maybe 45 and click on update. Yes, confirm that. And let's check for that Dynamic Hunter. That must have been changed. That is it right there. It's now changed to 45 right there. Okay, and we also have another one here, which means we can always delete that one. There, gone, as you can see. And we have more than one grace, more, delete. And if we go straight onto the workbook, we should be able to see all of the changes that we've carried out there. And right there, that's Alan and that's Davis. And let's start work with a new project. So I'm going to exit out. There we go. And let me minimize this. And I'm going to copy all of these data that I have in here so that I can use them. So let's select it all, copy, and just minimize and paste it right here. This is going to be my new project. Alright. Okay, let's save this very one file and let's save it as Excel macro enable, and I'm just going to call that students. Maybe we should go for student database search, Excel students data entry, with search function. Okay, that's fine. Now I'm going to change the save type as, let's come in here and just change that to Excel macro enable. There we go. Alright, and let's click on save. There we go, right there. So the next thing I'm going to do now is I'm going to go straight to the developer. Okay, if you don't have the developer, I will advise you to go straight to the file and select options, inside the options, this dialog pops up. Select customize ribbon, and right there, that will be your developer. If it's unchecked, make sure it's checked, and if it's not here, just search for it here. Okay, so let's click on OK. There, select my developer tool, and that is my new project. This is the old one. So right in here, I'm just going to right click and select insert, or we can even close all of this. Let me close all of that so that you guys see how to start it entirely. So I'm going to close all of these. Let's close everything, and that is it, gone. Okay, this is the new one. So let's go back to developer, Visual Basic, and let's go to insert right here. Select insert and select user form. There. Now let's change the size of this user form. The height, I'm going to make the height about 800, and the width, let's make the width 1000 plus. Let me move this up so that you guys can see it. Yes. Right here, that's the width, and now I'm going to make that 1040. There we go. There, done. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do now is, since I'm here, I might as well just change the back color. Drop that down, and let's go to palette and select green. There. Now double click on this to peg it down here. Just double click. There we go. It's right there. There, grab the tools. Okay, and let's just position this where it's meant to be. Drop it there. Alright, now where is the tools? That is the tools. I need base frame, and I'm going to change the color of that frame to something lighter. Let's go to the back color here, drop that down and select something lighter. Get rid of the text on it. Where is the text? That's it. On the caption here, just get rid of that. Right, now the next thing that I want to do is, let's kind of like extend it that much. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, I'm going to copy this very one. Let's just grab and copy it. Hold on to the control, copy, and just paste it here. Drag it that much. Okay, the next thing is I'm going to add a list box. I believe this is a list box. Grab that and just drag it right here. That's my list box there in position. There we go. Now the next thing we want to do is we want to add buttons. Alright, let's select one button here. And I'm going to change the properties of these buttons as follows. You see the width, I'm going to make that about 90, and let's go for the heights right here. Change the height to maybe about 40. That is fine. And the text content on it, let's change that to maybe 14 bold. 14 bold. There. And this very text itself, let's change the data in there to maybe add new. There we go. And I'm also going to change this very button. Let's change the background color of that button to something green, and the text content on it, I'm going to change that to something lighter. That's good. Alright, now this very button, I will now copy it. Hold on to your control, click and drag. We have 2, we have 3, and right here I'm going to need another type of button. This is the spin button. As it's called, spin button. So I'm going to make that exactly the same height. That will be, the width will be 90 and the height will be 40. There we go. Right, so I need 3 more buttons on this side, 1, 2, and 3. Just copy them, click, drag, and drop it right here. There. Now these buttons that I'm selecting, I'm going to change their color to something brighter. There we go. And the text content, let's change that to black. There. And now let's change this text. Click on that. That will be known as update. And this we change that to reset. And here I must change that to print, delete, exit. There. And that's all there is to that. So let's copy this very button. I'm going to need one more button. So if this is, there's going to be white here, so I'm going to copy this. So that's fine. And in here, let's add a text box for my search. Right. And this very one, this is going to be, let's change that to search. There we go. That's it, all done. There. So if I run this thing now, this is how it's looking. It's coming up nicely. So end that. And in here I don't need the following. I'm going to need a list box. I need a text box, a list, a label. Just select that and copy and drag. There we go. And one more here for the address. Then we need 3 here, 1, 2, and 3. Let's copy those. Click, drag, and drop. And another here, drag and drop. So I'm just going to speed up the design of the interface and get back to you guys. Okay, the design of my interface is ready, and let me just run it and you guys see what I'm talking about. You can run. There we go. However, there's nothing happening here. Here I've added 3 combo box. So let's exit out. Now I'm going to double click on the form itself, and right here, instead of form click, I'm going to select form initialize. There. And right inside the form initialize, let's do something first. You see right up here, I'm going to declare as follows. That would be explicit, actually. Option explicit. Right. And now we declare a variable that I will call, let's say dim updates data. That's it. And that is going to be integer. Yeah, that's a global variable there called integer. Okay. Now, for the form initialize, I'm going to enter the following data for my combo box. So the very first one, I'm going to call that, it's called CMB. Let's say member type. No, it's students. Okay, it's actually called student mode of, or mode of study. There. So for the mode of study, I'm going to say dot add item, and the very first item, I'm just going to make that empty. There, that will give me a space right on top. Now copy that, and I'm going to enter as follows: 1, 2, 3, maybe one more. Okay, now the next one is going to be full-time study, part-time study, and here I'm going to make that, let's say, sandwich course, and this one is going to be distance learning. Distance learning. That's it, done. So for the next one is going to be CMD proof. So with the proof of ID, let's say dot add as well, and the very first one will be nothing as well. Okay, let's copy that. Copy. Let's copy it all here. Press enter. And let's change this one. The very first one, your proof of ID is going to be driving license, and followed by pilot license, and let's go for maybe student ID, bank statement, yeah, that's valid. And finally, I'm going to make this one passport. No, not password, passport. There. Okay, that is 2 taken care of. Now the last one, I'm just going to make that the student fees. I think I called that CMB fees. The fees or fee. Let's say dot. No, maybe it's fees. Dot. Yeah, it is fees. Okay. The first value is going to be nothing. And let's just move this down a little bit. Yeah. So, okay, that will do. Now let's make this £125 into 5, and we can make this maybe about 75. And here that can be maybe 31, and we have one more, and this is going to be about, let's make that about 12 something, 12.45. Right, there we go. That's it, all done. Okay, so now if I run it, this is how it's going to look like. Let's just click on run, and there we go. So I can select whatever in there. So that's taken care of. You see this one? Let me take care of this. The student ID and date. So what I'm going to do is, when the student ID, so let's double click on student ID here and just enter txt barcode dot text. That will be equals reference equals ref dot text. So if I run that now, okay, but before I run that, let me come in here. You see this very one, we have to change that, the data type, sorry, the font, we have to change it to barcode. Make sure it's changed to barcode. Make sure you have installed barcode on your system. Okay, so I'm going to run it now. Just enter whatever student reference in there. That is it right there. Okay, and if you don't know how to install the barcode, that's quite easy. All you need to do is to go to, let's see if we can get you guys straight to the site right here. It's called, that's it, that the font.com, and this is it right here. Just click on this C, and when you click on the C, and this is it, you can just install. This is the very one that I'm using. You can just click on download. Once you download it, you click on download, and I'm going to just open that up. Open. Let's get it open so that you guys see how it's done. I'm right in here inside my download, and that is it right there. Okay, you make sure you extract it. Once it's extracted, double click on it, and you just hit on install. Once it's installed, that's what you need to do. Okay, that's how you install the barcode. Alright, that is taken care of. At the end of this program, I will actually include the URL for you guys. Okay, the next thing I want to do now is I'm going to go back straight into my Initialize. So first thing I want to do is, let's press enter. I'm going to, the variable that I declared right up here that I call update, grab that, and I'm going to make the value in there 10 equals 10. Now I now want to assign as follows. So I'll say txt ref dot text equals cell, which is going to be the very first cell for me, and I'm going to say update comma 1, close that, dot text. So that is for my very text. That will be for the very first column. So I'm going to repeat the same thing for the next one, so I can copy this and just change names around. And the next one is going to be first name. Surname here, that's 2, and this is 3, and this is surname. Let's change that to surname. Here we have address underneath here, and underneath the address is going to be the postcode. And after that, I'm going to go for telephone number. And let's change the numbers around. That's 4, 5, 6, and so on, guys. So I need to add another 3 more here. Might as well just copy all of these. Let's copy and paste it right underneath here, so that we can speed up things. Alright guys, that is it, all done now. But I just noticed something here. My variable here, I call it updates date. That I wanted to write update data. So I'm just going to copy, because all of these also have the name. They also have the name update date. So just hold on to Control H and let's change it to the right name. Updates data. There. Replace it. Yep, that is it, all done. Okay, it now makes sense to me. Alright, since that is done, take a good look at it, my lines of code so far, and this is for form initialize. So what I've just done in here is I have called each of the cell on my workbook. Each of these cells has now been called. So minimize that. Okay, so if I run it, this is what you guys will see. There, you see that? Okay, but we need to be able to then navigate and so on, and I also need to display the data on this very list box. So let's close that. Now go back to the form initialize. Inside the list box, I'm going to do as follows. But one thing, let me show you guys one thing here. You see my columns start from A to J, so I'm going to make reference to that very columns now. But the first thing is I'm going to say enter LST display. That is the name of my list box dot column count, this very one. I'm going to specify that is 10. If you guys look at it, I have 10 in total. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, minimize that, all come right here. Now we know it's 10, that's why I enter 10 in there. So I'm now going to look for the source of data. So let's say LST display dot record row source, that is equals A1 column up to J, let's say 3, let's make it 65,356. Okay, just all the way. You can reduce this figure, but this is the most important bit in there for us to know the column, and that's all there is to it. So if I run it now, I should be able to see all my record on my list box. As you can see, look at that. So that is that taken care of. Now let's double click on exit. Inside exit, I'm going to declare as follows: dim I exit as VB message box result, and the VB message I exit equals as follows. Grab that, drop it in here, and say equals message box. Just going to be confirm if you want to exit. There, that's my first argument. Now the second argument, that is going to be VB question plus VB yes or no. There. And the next one is just going to be my title, so we can just call it student record. There we go. There. Now we have 4 arguments in there, so I'm just going to press enter. The next thing I want to do now is I'm going to use if statement. If I exit equals VB yes, then unload me. That's it, done. And just say end if. Alright, that is the if statement taken care of for my exit. So if I run it now, instead of the system just exiting you out straight away, it actually prompts you to confirm if you want to exit. Confirm if you want to exit. No, because you made a mistake. Confirm if you want to exit. Yes, I do want to exit. That is it, taken care of, done. Double click on delete. Okay, with the delete, I'm going to declare a variable. I'm just going to call that I as integer. There we go. Press enter. And I'm going to then use a for loop for I equals 1 to the range of my record that I have on the system. So the record is going to start from A up to 65,356. There. Dot. Let's close that properly. Dot. And X row up. There we go. Close that. Dot. No. Dot. Row -1. There. That's it, taken care of. Okay. The reason why I make it 1 is so that it doesn't delete the title. Okay. So now let's use an if statement then. If lst display dot selected text, and what we're talking about is the variable I, then rows plus, so row, let's come in here, row I plus 1 dot select. There. And in that case, selection dot delete. And if. And we need to also next I. Okay, that takes care of delete. That is fine. There. Okay, let's try out this delete. Let's run it. And I'm going to look for any duplicated data in there. Let's see. Is there any duplicated one? Yeah, there's it. There's it right there. Johnny Lagos. Hit on delete. Okay, we do have an error. and that should actually be rows with an S, not row, rows there. Okay, let's try that again and look for Johnny Lagos again. Let's come back down. There we go. Try it again. There we go. That's it. It's working. We only have just one Johnny Lagos left. Okay then. Now let's take care of reset. This very one, or maybe print even. Let's take care of reset. Double click on reset. With the reset, I'm going to declare the following. I'm going to call it txt because all the prefix for each of my components do have txt in front of them for each txt in. I need to now know the frame, the name of my frame. So let's just assume it's going to be frame 2 dot control. I'm going to check that out, which frame I'm talking to. Alright, if type of txt is ms forms dot text box, then I don't want you to clear whatever I have inside txt equals clear, and if, and I'm also going to get that next step. There we go. Alright, and I also need to clear, let's clear the other ones. That would be cmb fees dot text equals clear. cmb prove dot text, get it cleared as well. And the last one is this very one here. Grab that. I think the name is too long on that. Dot text equals clear. Okay, now let's see what else do I have in there, and what is the name of this frame. It's frame number 2. That is good. Okay then, I have, alright, that should take care of that. So let's run it and see. Okay, click on clear. Where's clear? There we go. That's fine. So clear is working as well. Alright, okay, I'm just going to maybe, I think we should call it the end of the first part of this tutorial. I'll see you guys shortly.